be happy. Don't worry, be happy.
What is going on, everybody? It is SoCoxForeign back with another video and back with my first podcast, which is weird because I've never done one of these. So with me today, I have two special guests. First off, I want to introduce Anthony from the Nights of Horror. I've done a lot of podcast stuff with him, and he's here today.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Nights of Horror here. I'm really happy to be on the podcast. Talk some HHN, dude. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good year, hopefully.
And then next we have Charlie from his YouTube channel. It's called Char-Chi, right?
Yep.
Yep, Char-Chi.
That's it.
Does a bunch of Horror Night stuff and Disneyland stuff.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
No problem. So today we're going to be talking about Horror Nights, all the stuff that just got announced at Monsterpalooza, all that good stuff, Stranger Things. So if you love Horror Nights, like most of you fans of my channel do, stay tuned because there's going to be a lot of detail. And I'm happy to have my two special guests on today. So that being said, let's get right into the first topic that just got announced today, which is Stranger Things is going to be in a soundstage. I don't know if one of you guys want to touch up on that. We'll start with Charlie. What do you think about it being in a soundstage this year? Seeming how like it actually has the potential to be really good.
I am really happy that it's going to be in a soundstage this year. I know last time we had Amazing Soundstage was for AVP, and when that happened, it was like a big full budget maze. You know, it was there for 2 years because the budget was so big, and I think that's a very good sign that this is the first maze. Since that was what we got last in a soundstage, I have some very high hopes. Hopefully, they'll be able to play a lot around with like effects and stuff because there's a lot of cool things I think you can do with Stranger Things, like play around with temperature and the upside down. And I'm a big fan of the show. I've seen both seasons, so I'm really excited to see it at Horror Nights. And I think that with the ability to be in a soundstage, they'll be able to play a lot with more effects than they normally would. This maybe like, I don't know, they could do something like Knots is Done where they do like hanging scares or like scares coming from above or just new techniques. I think it'll be really cool to see how they play around with that in a soundstage.
What about you, Anthony?
You know what? I want to touch a little bit on what Charlie said as far as the environment, and it's funny that you bring that up because I was watching the TLEV live stream today after they were done with Monsterpalooza, and they had brought that up that you can mess around with as far as lighting, atmosphere wise. It's something that they should have done a little bit better on The Shining. That if The Shining was in like a studio like that, it probably would have been a little bit better as far as atmosphere and everything. When I found out when they announced this maze, just for starters, I immediately fanboyed. They did such an amazing job with the trailer as far as announcing it. You know, they had the bike in the front, and then they did the turnover. They were playing the theme song the entire time, and then they turned it over, and you're in the upside down. So that immediately got me going to. Just the fact that it's gonna be really good. Now that I found out it's in the new soundstage 29, that's where they used to have the Phantom of the Opera set before they turned down that soundstage. It looks like they built up that one. And to go into another soundstage, just as a fan of just like film and stuff, just to go in a soundstage itself is cool. But as far as the Stranger Things goes, like, yeah, I'm really excited. We still haven't gotten confirmation for Hollywood, at least, that what season they're doing. I know for Orlando, they came out and said they're doing only season 1. And I do want to know a little bit more about what seasons are going to be going on because there's a lot of stuff I like from season 1 that I want to see in there. And then there's a lot of stuff from season 2 that I want to see in there. Especially if they're working inside the soundstage with season 2. There's one scene where you see another test subject. I think she's like number 8 or number 9. I don't remember. I think it was 9.
Yeah. Number 8, I think.
Yeah. There's one scene in the show where she's getting chased by the cops, and then she does that like telepathic thing where she messes with the cop's mind and she makes it look like the bridge collapsed. And then when they get out, there's nothing there. So, I mean, it'd be cool to see them play around with that a little bit, more like special effects wise and stuff. It'd be cool to see like when you go on the upside down, maybe it feels cold or something like that. You know, I mean, they never really kind of
something like that, honestly.
Yeah, they never really kind of touched on that. Really, I mean, at least I never really kind of noticed it. But there's just so much stuff I want to see in this maze, and for it to be in a soundstage, yeah, I mean, they could play with lights and sound more. Especially because I know they're famous for doing early entry at Horror Nights, and usually if you want to get there and do the mazes, yeah, it's an advantage. But the disadvantage being if it's a maze that's like it's meant to be heavily special effects, it's always a bummer because the sun usually comes down on the maze when you're going through the day, and it's usually kind of a letdown. I've known for I know one year last year when we went early, we did early entry. We didn't want to go through the Shining immediately because we knew there was a lot of projections in it, and we wanted to wait till night just so we can go through and see all that. And especially with they did the Walking Dead in that area one year too, and we got there early, and it was just super dark to walk through and stuff like that. So um, it's good that they're doing this inside of a soundstage this year because they can control lighting and stuff like that, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, and just like both of you guys said, like in a soundstage, a maze is completely different. They have so much more room to work with stuff, such as special effects and everything. And I'm just super excited for it because when this maze originally got announced, it's like, okay, yeah, it's cool, like, but Murdy's gonna completely do something bad with the maze since like he kind of ruined Ash vs Evil Dead and the way he tried to do it. But like now finding out that it's in a soundstage and the freaking Duffer Brothers are working on it with him, that just makes it even more hyped. Like they could do some serious effects on it, including with the whole upside down effect. They could do some serious effects on that, and it's gonna feel really immersive. The only thing I'm worried about is it's gonna be like a short maze, like AVP was, or like a
Yeah.
maze with like no
Yeah.
scares in it. Which I mean,
Mm.
not really a big scare for me, but I think it's gonna be good. It's definitely gonna draw a lot of people, especially since it's in the soundstage.
Yeah, no, hands down, this is definitely going to be one of the more popular mazes of the event. I don't know. This might even be like it could be like the bigger like advertising maze that you'll see on like all the park maps and stuff. I
Oh
have a
yeah,
feeling this might be
definitely.
one of those, and just considering how they announced it and everything, and considering how hyped everyone is, and the ability to get so many more people that would might not normally go to Halloween Horror Nights. Like I think they learned a lot about that from American Horror Story, that a lot of people who normally might not go to Horror Nights wanted to go to see their favorite TV show in a maze. So I think doing something big with Stranger Things, they'll probably learn that they can get a lot more people to come to Horror Nights. And I'm really excited for this. I'm so excited for this
I really
maze.
want to see
It's
Demogorgons and shit. Like that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, but then there's also a part of me where I'm like, oh god, I hope they pull this off. Like they better not screw this one up. But
It's gonna be 2 minutes
I,
of black
I think
walls.
yeah. Oh god, hashtag no black walls.
Let's not talk about that.
I can't believe that's an actual hashtag.
That made my day. When I
You know
saw
what?
that
And this
happening.
wasn't the first time they've done TV at Horror Nights. You brought up, of course, Ash vs Evil Dead and American Horror Story. They really picked up the ball and started doing more TV when they started doing Walking Dead, and those first 3 or 4 mazes really took off. They were like really popular. The lines were like super long and stuff like that. And then I know the first year they brought American Horror Story. That was a really good quality maze. Lot. I mean, it was season after season, so that was pretty cool. Last year's wasn't too bad. I just didn't really like that season, so I mean, but it actually made up for it as a maze. And Ash vs Evil Dead, they could have done a lot more with, especially because of the black walls and stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that. And I'm hoping with Stranger Things, they've kind of learned from the past years of what to do and what not to do. My main, like I said, like we've all been saying, our main scare for this year and our main disappointment this year is we're gonna get a lot of black walls going through this maze. I know this is gonna be a very challenging maze to maybe do because the main scare in that maze is the Demogorgons,
Yeah.
and there's not much to it.
Well, just think
That
of
was
this
the
is the
same.
end. Like this is the end. They had one scare throughout the whole maze.
That
Yeah,
and
it was
almost
all
like the same
different
effect
characters.
going into it, like the same angles too, which was really disappointing. I think from This Is the End.
And we have learned in the past that Murdy is always up for the challenge because he went in doing The Exorcist, and I'm gonna give him that alone was probably the hardest property he ever had to do,
Oh
because
yeah, one setting, the whole movie.
that whole movie takes place in the room the entire time. But what Murdy did is he brought each of those iconic scenes to life, which I accepted the black walls on that one, because I realize how hard that movie is to bring to life. You can only do so much with The Exorcist, that you can only, each scene was a different iconic scene, and at least with those black walls, they had people popping out, and they had those 3D imagery of like Pazuzu and Reagan on the wall, which was pretty cool. Um, but I think Murdy can pull off. I always like to see when Murdy says we've been trying to get our hands on this for years and stuff like that. I always like to see him challenge himself and then see what the result is. Not a lot of people liked The Shining. I only went one time, so I can't say too much about it. I enjoyed it, because throughout that whole time in Halloween, that was all I was like religiously watching that movie. So for it to bring to life and stuff like that like I fanboyed out so bad. And this is gonna go the same thing with Stranger Things. We watched the show, me and my dad and my cousin George. We watched the show the minute it goes on Netflix. We binge watch it that whole weekend, and then we get sad because we have nothing else to watch after that.
That was me.
But because like I said, there's a lot of aspects in this maze I want to see. One was focusing about who is this mysterious girl 11, how did she become who she was, what else is that government facility working on, what else do they know, what is the upside down, what is the species of demogorgons, obviously the demogorgon term coming from Dungeons and Dragons, which was really cool. But there was there's more behind Stranger Things than just here's a little girl, here's a couple of monsters, here's little kids, they got to fight them, and that's it, and in the first season, Will's missing, so, and then when they get him back, you obviously can tell at the end of season 1 something's not right with him, and they really touched on that in season 2, that Will is still fucked up from the season 1 stuff, from the going in the upside down, and I really liked how they touched on that. So I'm honestly looking forward to seeing what they can do with this maze. As far as scares too, I want to see who they're gonna send to scare us. Are we gonna see a lot of the kids throughout the maze? Are we gonna see a lot of the government agents throughout the maze? Are we gonna see what's his name, the cop? He's a great actor. I can't even remember his name to save my life though.
Hopper.
Yeah, are we gonna see him a lot through the maze? What kind of settings are we going to see in the maze? Obviously, there's a lot of talks of what the facade's going to be. I already have what I would love to be. There's a lot of people that want the government agency as the facade, Will's house, but my dream facade would be the school, the Hawkins Middle School, but in the upside down version, where you have all the vines and stuff like that, and then you enter the upside down. I just want to see how they're going to do it interior wise too, just to see Will going into Will's house and stuff like that. If we go into Will's room, if they do season 2, are we going to go into the arcade and stuff like that? There's just a lot
the
of
facade could be the arcade.
Yeah. So there's just a lot I want to see, and then I'm gonna be just kind of going on a rant, like hashtag bring back Barb, hashtag bring back Bob. So yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
do you want to talk?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, kind of like what you were saying, Anthony. I'm about the facade, and the other thing too that a lot of people I actually haven't seen bring up, but I'm more nervous about seeing the kids in the maze, because what we've seen before in other HHM mazes was where they just have those big mannequin doll things, and I'm really hoping that we can see some actors for some of the kids, because that's the one thing I'm really nervous about. I'm we need to. I'm please just give us a Will and an 11, and
a podcast.
That was one thing that came to my mind, is just making sure that we don't have those, and also for facade. I was also thinking, because yes, how is it hard to it is hard to make one for a major facade, but then in a sound stage, I don't totally remember for AVP, but they didn't. I mean, I guess they had an indoor facade, but the other thing I'm really hoping is they can have like just a lot of bigger set pieces and large facades. Like, I'm really hoping that we can get multiple facades in this because there is so many different iconic places like Will's house, and also with the scares too. Like you were saying before earlier, you touched on just like making sure it's not just from the Demogorgon. Like maybe we could get some from like different lab people. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I'm just as nervous about this maze about them pulling it off as I am excited because we have seen with previous mazes where they are such amazing properties that they haven't done such a great job. But I think that the fact that Universal has been working with the Duffer Brothers on this and the announcement was such a big deal, it's completely different from what they've done before for announcements that hopefully this will be done right.
All right, so with that being said, let's hop right into another topic. All things set aside, I think we can all pretty much agree that Stranger Things is going to be good. There's just a couple of scares that we're nervous about. But another thing that got announced today at Monsterpalooza at the Horror Nights panel, which none of us attended Monsterpalooza, am I correct?
Yeah.
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 We unfortunately did not get to go. I just didn't go because from the past years that I went, I got bored. So, Emerdi announced a new scare zone coming to Horror Nights this year, which he kind of played everybody because I don't know if you guys remember, but on April Fool's he talked about like doing a dark twist on the Easter Bunny, and then he went and announced like, oh, we're doing this. It's called Holidays from Hell with a Z, and it has the Dark Easter Bunny, which is probably gonna be the same reused costume as they do in The Purge for the past 2 years, and Uncle Sam, which is another reused one. But they're doing they're doing it from all holidays such as Cinco de Mayo, New Year's Eve. There's gonna be a Father Time, Stiltwalker. I'm pretty sure my favorite, the Krampus, is gonna be a Stiltwalker. He's coming back. Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, all that good stuff. I'm sure there'll be concept art on the screen right now, but I'm super excited for this. What do you guys think? It's gonna be in the Metro set.
Yeah. Personally, I think I saw it and I was really just surprised. I didn't really see this one coming. I mean, you can't really expect anything from the scare zones since we knew that they're going to be original. So it's really hard to see what they're going to be. I'm really excited to see the Z's back again in the scare zones. And I'm also very happy that this is one of the scare zones that are going in the Metro sets because personally, this one doesn't really scream excitement to me. It just seems kind of like a cheap thing to do for Universal since, like you said, they are bringing back so many like older used things like the Krampus, the Easter Bunny. I know. I think they're gonna have another elf. I think from the Dark Christmas Scare Zone. The Uncle Sam. It kind of seems just like a cheap way out, which I'm not really sure. It might just be because they're doing bigger budgets for mazes, possibly Stranger Things getting more into that. But that was the only really disappointing part for me. Is just it kind of just seems like a cheap way out for Universal for scare zones. But for that reason, I'm happy that it's in the Metro sets because it is going to be a walkthrough. And I think that if it was just a normal scare zone, it really wouldn't feel right because they are in chronological order as you walk through them. Like you start with New Year's and then you end with Christmas. So for that reason, I'm happy it's down on the Metro sets. But all in all, this one really doesn't get me very hyped as much as the other ones. Also, last year's theme, it was like Urban Hell or whatever, Urban Inferno. That's what it was. It was kind of like also like another Hell thing. So it seems kind of weird that they're also calling this one Holidays in Hell. I don't know. It just seems like they're reusing that concept. I mean, there really isn't. It's hard to think of new things when it comes to Halloween and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. This one just really doesn't excite me as much as other things have in the past.
Let me see. I do like the Metro sets. First off, I just like going back there in general because wanting to be a filmmaker, it's one of those things where it's just like, oh my god, I'm back on the back lot. These are some iconic places, so I always nerd out when I go on that. But Urban Inferno last year was pretty interesting. It was kind of funny because I went back there like twice just to when early entry happened, and I had to go back there a couple times. I went back there at least 3 or 4 times because I had when I went back in the beginning. When I went for the first 2 times, there was no actors there yet. It was still like it wasn't official hours yet. It was still early entry, and I was trying to film the scare zones and stuff like that. And when I finally went back, they finally had actors, so it was pretty cool. I did like the whole ghillie suit guys and stuff. That those guys always get me and stuff. So to see this new holidays from hell thing, I saw a lot of the concept art. A lot of YouTubers have been putting up either photos or videos of all the concept ones. They even went as far as to call the Tooth Fairy a version of Danny DeVito from Taxi. That's how the makeup artist explained it, and I thought that was kind of funny. And I really do like the whole let's take holidays and make them twisted and demented and all that. And I really like that aspect of horror because you look at these holidays and they're supposed to be for like kids and like joyful and to celebrate and all that. But when you get your hands on them with Halloween Horror Nights, it's like, okay, we're gonna turn these holidays that you all love and we're gonna make a twist to them and we're gonna make them all. I'm really excited to see if they get an actual midget for a leprechaun. That'd be really freaking cool. That would probably scare me.
I hope they do that.
Like the Chucky.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I do see. I could see where you guys can say that it's starting to get a little bit lazy. Yeah, I do agree on that. I want to touch up on that a little bit more. The Uncle Sam, I'm hoping they don't use a reused costume from their Purge.
Well, yeah, because
election
they had
year.
it as a stilt walker. So this year they're having it just as a normal walker. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they'll reuse some aspects of it, but it looks like it's going to be a new costume.
Yeah.
So I want to see how they're going to set this up as far as how we're gonna walk through again, because I've known in previous years they've kind of just like you walk through and last year they kind of made it a little bit of a maze to walk through, which was pretty cool. I wonder if they're gonna set that up again, but this time maybe get more creative with more props as far as each holiday goes, because they did say it's gonna be in chronological order from New Year's all the way till Christmas, and then Father Time is going to end it. Father Time did look really really cool.
Yeah,
and
that's interesting.
Yeah, he looks really cool. I'm a huge fan of Krampus. I've always, even before that movie came out, I've always loved the whole legend of Krampus that they do over in Germany. They have the whole festival there, and the people there, they get really creative with those costumes, and they look really scary. I wish that they would maybe kind of research more on those and bring them over here to Hollywood, because I have a feeling if they did more of that, then it could be more of a scare. Be really cool. The past year when they did the Krampus maze, that Krampus looked pretty cool. But I'm excited just to see a lot of the holidays come to life. Like I said, I'm hoping each holiday that we go through, we have like a little prop set of like leprechauns. So like we'll have like shamrocks everywhere, maybe some barrels of beer, but they have like people stuffed inside of them or something like that, or and like and when you get to the Christmas time and you got presents, but you got like foots and stuff stuck inside of it or something like that. Same thing with Easter. Instead of like maybe Easter eggs, he's got like fucking, I don't know, some things set up on the like he's torturing somebody for Easter or something. Like there's a lot of stuff I want to see in this scare zone that I hope they bring to life. They did that a little bit with Urban Inferno last year, where you saw some like mannequins hung up and they were kind of like torturing them and stuff like that, which I really it's stuff like that that kind of brings the atmosphere more to life. Being a guy who's really into like heavy metal and stuff, when I see stuff like this and stuff like like I start picturing songs in my head. I wish they would incorporate more like metal to the event as far as scare zones go, because it actually would bring more of the atmosphere to life, get me more pumped and they could get scared and stuff. But that's just me.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of aspects that it's one of those things that's like with Meridian scare zones is there's a few monsters that are really cool, and then some of them are ass. Like the sheet ghost from opening ceremony last year was pretty bad. I didn't really like the sheet ghost. Like I feel like they just try to copy knots low key. But I don't know. I just didn't like the sheet ghost idea. The skeleton was kind of iffy on the stilts, but there are definitely a lot of cool scare zone actors, which like Father Time's one of them that I'm looking forward to seeing, and also the Cupid and the Leprechaun. Those are the three that I'm most excited for because
I agree, yeah.
they look so detailed, and I'm excited for that. And I'm excited for Krampus to come back too, but I already saw it in Dark Christmas, so it's kind of not like a big thing. But I am happy that we don't have repeat scare zones. Like Murdy keeps thinking of new ideas, which is also always a good thing.
Definitely.
I wouldn't quite maybe push that out yet. We haven't. I mean, I know there's a new Purge movie coming out,
yeah,
so
true.
he might do another Purge scare zone. Wouldn't be surprised. It's the cheap way out.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, it's also good promo. I mean, a lot of people are always.
I'm fine with the
I'm a
Purge.
huge fan of the Purge. I
I'm
like
fine with
the
the
Purge. I think it's good horror for. It's been a while since we've seen something good, and I'm a huge fan of the whole concept and stuff like that. So,
I feel
mean,
like
if they
the
do another
Purge is gonna
scare
go in
zone-
the shitty tunnel again, which it's gonna suck, but I feel like it's gonna happen.
I feel Toxic Tunnel is honestly a waste of time.
I feel the tunnel's a waste of time in general.
Yeah, I used to like it when they used to just tram us there like that. I don't want to walk. I'm already doing enough walking at the night. Like, just tram us there. Like,
And
it's
like
so much easier.
it would. It takes like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you can easily turn the Toxic Tunnel and bring that scare zone back to like the Mummy area. They haven't done a scare zone there since like Silent Hill, and it's like, well, I mean, I want to see something there. It's kind of like I get down there and it's kind of boring, you know. I mean, I see the mazes and
You
stuff
just
like that. That's cool,
you
but
see King Kong, the side of King Kong, and then you just see a bunch of metro sets that are all blocked off, and then you go into the scare zone.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of things I want to see it this year that they should improve on. I don't think they'll bring back a scare zone in that area anytime soon. You know, the Mummy Transformers area.
Yeah.
I would like them to have a scare zone there. I mean, that's
Oh, you
just
mean
me
the lower
because-
lot?
What was that?
The lower lot?
Yeah, the whole lower lot. Because, like I said, and correct me if I'm wrong, the last thing I remember being a scare zone there was Silent Hill, and that was back in like 2011.
No, I think it was was it Skulls? I think it was.
Was Skulls there?
Yeah, I think
was
it
that
was-
2012?
I think it was 2012 or 2013, something like that.
Yeah. And there's something that kind of made me laugh. I want to touch up on another YouTuber's video. Awkward Arsic put up a video of his top 6 like scare zones that he wants at the event, and he mentioned that he wants like a Simpsons Halloween themed one.
I've
I think
always
that would
wanted
be a
that. I've
funny
always asked for that so many times.
Oh yeah, everyone wants that one, but Murdy just is like, nope, sorry.
I mean, the event is typically that event for Horror Nights is typically an adult event.
Yeah. But Disney owns
they-
Fox now too, so it's kind of like.
Yeah, I mean, but they still got like a long term like the same thing with Universal doing a whole. They just opened up their whole Marvel restaurant, so they got a little deal with them. But I think that Simpsons thing would be pretty cool, just having characters run around, or at least if you're not doing it at night, do it during the day for like the guests during the day and stuff. I mean, it'd be pretty cool to see in the Simpsons Land area. Another thing I'm hoping that they do that they did in Singapore. Was they turned their Harry Potter land and they had like Dementors running around. And
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like
I heard
that.
about that.
Being a fan of Harry Potter, I would love to see that. I would fanboy out like crazy because like Dementors, those things scared the shit out of me watching those movies, man. And even going on the ride, like they scared the crap out of me. And I would like to see Murdy do that and bring the Harry Potter world to life. Like that'd be pretty cool.
It's just J.K. Rowling. Like Singapore just doesn't give a shit about what she says, but like Hollywood's like, oh no, we can't do it.
Yeah, because Hollywood's got more of a reputation. They got to remain and stuff like that, which I understand, but still, I would love to see it one day.
Yeah, I would love to see a Dementor scare zone in Harry Potter, but that I personally I don't see it happening in the future. Like, well, because they don't even keep Wizarding World open now during Horror Nights, except for like that one night. I think it was in
They do it.
2016.
They do it on.
It was-
They did it on Indie Night in 2016. Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah, I remember I was there one night on 2016, and they had Harry Potter open. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get some butterbeer. But
You guys are lucky. The
Yeah.
night I went, it was closed. I think I went like opening weekend.
Oh
yeah,
'cause
it was really weird though. Like no one ever really knew why they did it, and
You know what? And yeah, because my cousin, he finally, I finally took him during the day to just experience that. But um, the only time a year we would go to Universal was when we went to Horror Nights, and um, I had told him one year, like I was like, oh yeah, we'll go through the Harry Potter stuff. You can see it real quick, and then we'll get all the stuff done. Um, and every time we went, it was closed. I was like, well, why are you guys closing this down? This can
They are so
easily.
strict on freaking Harry Potter. We went opening night. We were all gonna go ride Forbidden Journey, and like, cause we were just gonna go ride it, cause my girlfriends were riding it either. So we are gonna go ride it, like, just to start for early entry. And this is when the park was still open, like 15 minutes, and they let early entry in, but they were checking everybody's wristbands. Like, I
You know what?
remember
And that's
my
where I messed up last year because
yeah.
they literally handed me my wristband, and I could have honestly, like, they were checking for them. I could have literally put mine in my pocket and then just like, yeah,
No,
I'm a guest. But
my friends
I
in
had
front of me, they didn't have theirs on, and then I had mine on as well as my party. We had them on, and then we just kind of like put them in our pockets. But then my friend behind me, he was just like straight up flashing around, and they held him. Like, we got in, but they held him, and I was like, damn, they are so strict.
yeah, I just think it's ridiculous. Like that can easily, with that Harry Potter being open, it can easily be a traffic control kind of thing where, okay, people are focusing on Harry Potter. That's my opportunity to go through some of the mazes without it won't be as less of a wait time, but it'll be better than waiting like 4 hours for a maze. It'll probably cut down to like 3, maybe 2.5 hours with Harry Potter being open, which is still that's better time to kill than freaking waiting a 4 hour line, and so I just think it'd be a good traffic control kind of thing for Horror Nights.
Yeah, and as much as I personally, I would love to see Harry Potter open. Like, I I really don't go to Universal as many. I found this year I really didn't go to Universal that many times, and so much to the point where actually this year I didn't even renew my pass to Universal. I don't really have the need to until I see a further point where I feel like I want to renew a pass. But I will say the one weird thing, it was I kind of understand why Universal doesn't open Wizarding World, because when I was in there and having the scare zones on top, and like, because they have like the music and stuff in Harry Potter World, and then you step out and you're in this like heavy metal, like scare zone, which was, I think, was it no, not Exterminators. Wait, what? Wait, I don't remember. I don't know. But for 2016, and when you're in Wizarding World, you can hear everything that's going on outside, and you can see all the fires. So I will say, like, for that reason, like, for the reason about immersion, like, it did not have its full effect as it had when I'd visited like previous times, because you really didn't just feel like you were there. Like, the immersion was not nearly as good. But I mean, that aside, I absolutely would love to see Harry Potter open during Horror Nights. I think that would be really cool, and I'm still totally down for it. It's just that's my only little complaint.
And that's where my imagination will kick in. As far as the fire effect, I would just immediately think, oh, freaking Goblet of Fire. That's the dragons.
And
that's
hey,
where those
like,
Dementors need to come in.
yeah, exactly. And like, it's making them money. Like, when they left it open, it was making them hella money. The only problem is the whole.
Everyone was like, "Oh my god, Harry Potter!" Yes,
Yeah, and there was like
there.
people that don't have Universal passes. There were so many people in there just like going into Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But
yeah, now that I got a pass, and it's just like I at Horror Nights, I literally bought the best pass for Universal just so I can get another free ticket for Horror Nights. And
it's only like $80 extra.
Yeah, but it's worth it. I mean, if I'm gonna, and plus they got the monthly payment plan, so it's just like it works out great. I think with all of our passes, like me, my dad, and my sister, and my cousin together, like I'm paying less than what I would do for 3 Disney passes. So it's just like,
yeah,
insane, man.
Might as well, yeah.
Yeah. So I on top of that, if I don't feel like going to the Universal, I'll just go to City Walk. They have the comic book store I love going to, but
everything about Universal is great. It's just small, so it's hard to enjoy yourself all day.
So.
But
back to Horror Nights.
Yeah, back to Horror Nights.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Terror Tram. You guys got any ideas? Any wild ideas for the Terror Tram?
Damn.
They better not do Purge.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's what they're aiming for.
Yeah,
No
I know. I
Purge.
feel like, I mean, it's pretty obvious that they're going to have the Purge at HHN this year, especially since they have the new Purge movie coming out. And I don't know. I don't think that they'll do the Terror Tram for Purge this year. I think that there's definitely a very big possibility it could be a scare zone, or they might be doing what they did last year. I don't know. I know it's not in like all the rumors and stuff. There hasn't been much talk about it, but there could be a possibility for Blumhouse of Horrors Part 2, maybe, if they were going
I
to do
hope
Purge
so.
in there.
I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed that maze. I really did.
You're weird, dude.
I don't. Okay, let me rephrase this. I love the Purge. Happy Death Day. When I saw it, I actually really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Sinister 1, it was okay. Sinister 2 just sucked. Sinister 1, I did like I like the whole aspect of the concept of it, of how he's possessing children and they kill their folks and stuff. But like the films are just so sadistic, and the character itself, he looks pretty badass and scary looking, which I like that. And with Happy Death Day, it was kind of I mean, it was one of those things where it was like, okay, I only went opening night, so with Happy Death Day, I didn't understand it, unless whatever I watched on the trailer, that's all I got the concept from. And then when I finally watched Happy Death Day, I was like, okay, this makes sense. But I hope they do. I mean, I don't know. They can't. Horrors of Blumhouse 2 will kind of be hard to do this year because I still want to see it, but I already know it's going to be shitty. Is Truth or Dare? I can't see that turn into a maze. I just can't.
No, I don't think that's gonna happen.
We could bring Get Out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They could figure something out with Truth or Dare. I mean, the makeup on that would be pretty scary. In real life, but just watching it on a film and looking at those smiles, I can only imagine what it was.
If they did Truth or Dare, like if they actually decided to do Truth or Dare, it'd be so corny. Like,
yeah, I mean,
it'd be really corny.
It was like on set, like, oh, well, just smile, and then we're gonna CGI your smile. Like,
yeah,
it must have
exactly.
been weird. And I already know Halloween is too much big of a property to be included in Horrors of Blumhouse. They'll probably give that its own solo maze, and that will be another maze.
There's no way they would do that.
Yeah, and that's gonna be another maze where it's gonna be like, okay, well, Halloween comes out this day, but we're gonna have we're gonna have the maze out, and then you're gonna have to watch the movie and then go back after to be like, oh, okay, I understand this maze now.
Yeah.
And if they want to do maybe another Purge, like the opening to Horrors of Blumhouse where you were in the Purge and stuff, I thought that was freaking awesome. Like, I never seen something
that was
like
cool.
that.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was like, to me, that was like a living facade.
And the entrance to
definitely. And I like the transition. It was like it made the maze longer and it made it more worth the wait.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. And the sinister parts, bringing that movie to life. Yeah, the movies are both, they're not that good. They're pretty terrible. But bringing some of the most iconic scenes to life, especially that one scene where you go in and you see all like the butlers and stuff on that table and stuff, like, I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, even seeing the actual demon in costume, that was pretty cool. I thought the end was kind of a little bit of a comic relief, where they have the guy from Purge shooting you, and then they're playing the "Let's All Go to the Lobby" song. I think I liked that maze so much because I had a really good memory after the maze when I got to meet Jason Blum. Like, that was so fucking cool.
Oh wow, yeah, that's really cool.
So that's why I think that's why I kind of like that maze, because I had a very good memory. On top of that, I didn't get to meet them, but they all walked past me. The whole cast of Happy Death Day were there because I had went that opening night. So like, they walked right past me, and then like I recognized one of the girls from Shameless, and I'm just like, do I stop her and say hi? Do I I was just kind of like a fanboy. But with Jason Blum, like, I had to get a picture with him because he honestly is turning horror around, and I really like that.
Jason Blum is a goat, honestly. Like, his horror movies are great. Like, aside from Truth or Dare, probably, but his horror movies are great. I
didn't even think about Get Out. I mean, they could.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe do, I still can't see that as a maze either, though. But
I don't think it has enough to the film that you really could make it into a maze. It doesn't have enough material or
there's
like
really
scares
nothing to be scared about.
Like
It'd be a full like story maze. Like they wouldn't really have much to do with it.
It definitely would not be a scary maze, that's for sure.
Exactly.
I mean, that's why Horrors of Blumhouse is so good though, because it wasn't. It took films and they didn't give them complete mazes. It just gave them here's a little section
mini,
and then
yeah.
that. So I think some of these can work out as another Horrors of Blumhouse, but I don't know, man. I mean, for Get Out and Truth or Dare, I can't really see them even as little as aspects, unless Murdy in the past has proved me wrong. So I mean, honestly, if he proves me wrong again, I will be surprised.
All right, so let's move on to location. So we obviously got our new location announcement, where we're getting a new location in Soundstage 29. As far as us losing an old location, I'm gonna list the 3 options that I think that are going. Is Waterworld, Jurassic Park, or Persian? So what do you guys think most likely, and what's your reasoning behind it?
I think Jurassic Park, because they said they were going to start doing some construction or refurbishment. So, and you know what? I want to go 2 because I think maybe Waterworld 2. I had heard rumor for a while that they're going to be closing that down pretty soon. I think to start expansion for Nintendo Land. I have no idea where they're going to put Nintendo Land yet. There's no confirmation of where it's going yet, but I would say Waterworld would be the most suitable area. But I would say either between those 2. Maybe I'm gonna go more on the line with Jurassic Park though, because I heard they are doing refurbishment. I don't know what that would have to do with the line queue area, but I would assume because the whole thing's gonna be shut down that it's just easier for them to just do that too. I originally thought we were gonna get because they're bringing it back this summer. I thought we were gonna get the La Llorona area back because that was a fantastic spot for a maze, and to find out that we're not getting that back this year is kind of a bummer. But at the same time, it doesn't really like, oh, we need it back kind of mood. It's just like.
Did Murdy confirm that we were not getting that back, or?
Well, he said we're getting a new location, which they kind of already confirmed. Stage 29 is going to be the new location.
Yeah.
And then we're losing one, so.
Man, I feel like the new DreamWorks theater is just too small of a space with Hogsmeade right there. But
oh yeah.
You know what? I didn't even think about that too. Yeah, when they had the Shrek stuff, there was no Hogsmeade. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
But also, I feel like they could have put a maze inside like the open space in the actual theater. I think that would have been cool. It just would have been the thing like, oh, here's a new theater, but we're already gonna throw a maze inside of it and kind of mess with the lines and the queue and everything. So.
Yeah, I personally, I'm not actually sorry. It was Waterworld, JP, and then what was the third one?
Persian.
Okay. I think that I personally think that I don't know. This is a really hard one for me because I could definitely see it being the Persian courtyard because for one,
that was mine.
They really can't use that space for anything during the summer or May, or I think May is when they usually start construction, like late May. And considering that is just such a big open portion of the park, that could be hard for Universal to work around. And also, especially at Horror Nights, dealing with the Purge walkthrough part in the middle, it was really hard to walk around the courtyard in order to get to different portions in the park. Like, I can definitely see how it's hard to get to, like, Despicable Me and all that area. Like, when the park is open during the summer, I feel like that could be really hard for accessibility and people getting back there and just having to walk around the construction. But I can definitely also see it being either Jurassic Park or Waterworld because, well, Waterworld, you are screwing around with one of their arguably, possibly one of the biggest shows at Universal, where they really don't have any. They do have a smaller holding section for people before they open the doors to the stadium, but it kind of just screws around with their logistics of getting people in and stuff, and I could definitely see that not really working out anymore. And also, it seems like kind of a smaller-ish maze location, so to be honest, I would be fine losing this location. However, it is kind of sad because I really liked having at least 2 mazes or 3 mazes if you're including Walking Dead on the top deck, because in the past, like in 2016, we only really had 1 maze up there, and that was Titans of Terror. Yeah, Wait, no, I'm getting myself confused. Actually, it was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Sorry. So that's I don't know. And then for Jurassic Park, like you were saying, with the construction and refurbs, and also having to deal with for exiting and entering, like having to go backstage and walk on the streets, kind of where the studio tour goes, during when you get out of the maze.
Yeah.
And for front of the line people, that's where they walk in. Like that just seems like a lot for them to set up. But personally, I think it's more going to be Persian Courtyard, because we have seen that space come and go in the years.
I don't think. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Okay, so let me just say this. I love Waterworld's mazes. Like the Waterworld location to me is great. Texas Chainsaw was amazing, and Titans of Terror was amazing. And the way that I think that they do it better than any other maze in the park is they have such a small area in Waterworld, but they make it into like a 5-minute maze, which is so good. Like I truly do love that location, which I don't think we're gonna get that's gonna be the one. I think that Universal has no problem keeping that one due to the fact that Nintendo Land is actually going to be down where the Jurassic Park area is located, like where the studio tour is and everything. That's why they cleared out a bunch of the sound stages down there. I think that it's going to be Jurassic Park, and I have a little bit of hope for Persian, but I think that it may be Jurassic Park due to the refurb and the fact, like Charlie was saying, the street, like people walking on the streets and the exit and the front of the line, all that stuff. And they're going to start construction for Nintendo Land fairly soon, if not already this summer. So I think that it just be one of those things that's in the way as far as them trying to make a new route for the studio tour and them trying to construct stuff over there. And I hope that it doesn't go away, because some of the best mazes have been there throughout the years, except for Insidious last year. That was kind of iffy. I hope that they bring the Gauntlet back where Persian is, because the Gauntlet for the Purge was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool experience.
I actually, for Persian, I think they're not going to take that out. And I think they might put the Halloween maze there I'm hoping they're going to, everybody kind of already knows at this point, they're for sure probably going to be doing one because of Blumhouse. But,
yeah.
And Murray even tweeted or teased it last year that Michael Myers can't come out to play this year, but he'll kind of be, he pretty much kind of said he'll be back next year. And I just think Halloween will go there. And why do I think Halloween will go there? Because Halloween's been there the last 2-3 times they've done it.
Yeah.
And it's worked out perfect there. For one, those are two of my all-time favorite mazes, especially going to Horror Nights. I'm a huge fan of Halloween for starters, and when they brought those two mazes to life, it was awesome. Actually, no, they did the second Halloween maze in the JPQ line, but the first one they've done it there, and it worked out good. And they didn't need to close off a lot as far as space wise. They just shut down Mel's Diner for a little bit, but you could still walk through all that stuff and everything, and that wasn't a big issue. But I do see what you're saying, Charlie, especially with the Purge last year. Yeah, that caused up a big time of space issues, because that park lately has been getting to a little bit more popular now because of the Harry Potter land and Despicable Me and The Simpsons and all that stuff. They get a lot of tourists on top of that come there a lot, so that also fills up park capacity, and they need as much room as they can get throughout the day so they can get guests moving around, and there's not a lot of cramped areas and stuff like that. But if they do like a Halloween maze at the Persian Courtyard, that won't take up too much space, because like I said, all they have to do is close Mel's Diner. They can put up a little wall right there. I have heard that it's kind of a hassle to make a maze there, and it makes sense because I remember someone brought it up in a video. I don't remember who brought it up, but they said that if you really look at how the way that area is constructed, a good example was from the Halloween maze. When you walked in, you went down that long hallway, and then you walked in, and then that's when the maze actually started. So I was kind of, when I really thought about that, I was like, yeah, the construction to that might be a little weird, but they still make it work. At least I do. I think they make it work. I want to see. I just kind of want to see, as far as the lineup goes this year. then that's when I can start determining where a lot of the mazes should go, or they can go. Of course, Horror Nights ain't gonna watch the video that I make and be like, oh yeah, let's do that, let's put them there. But that's kind of like how I look at it. Like maybe when I get the full lineup, I'm like, oh, that'd be pretty good there. But we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping they do keep the. Yeah, I will agree with you, Scott, that Waterworld Q has been home to some pretty good mazes the last 2 years. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was amazing, and Titans of Terror for being a last-minute maze was really good. And I hope they keep that going because they can make a good quality maze. But yeah, there is crowd control issues with that too as well. I think the one that has the least crowd control issues would probably be Jurassic Park, because the space they do it at, it's honestly a vacant. If you take the studio tour and you look in, it's literally a vacant area, and they only use it unless they absolutely have to. And Jurassic Park really never gets that packed to the point where they have to make more line. So I don't know. It's really hard to tell at this point. It depends as later on down the line of what goes under construction, or what they decide to do as far as daytime lines and stuff like that, crowd control wise. Because when it ultimately comes down to it, you just got to think about crowd control. That's probably their main priority about it.
Yeah,
like said,
I think
it's just hard.
Yeah, I think honestly, with what I was saying before about Parisian Courtyard, like if they don't do basically what they did last year with Purge Gauntlet, I don't feel like there would be a big problem with crowd management. Before in 2015 when they had like Michael Myers come back and they did the Parisian Courtyard, which was the last time that we had like just the inside area of the Parisian Courtyard, I was not doing HHN updating, so I didn't get to see really what it looked like during under construction, but you still have that whole courtyard. So it's I don't know, it's a toss up between all the different mazes or the locations of which one could be closing down, but I think it's definitely probably either going to be Parisian Courtyard or Water World. Yeah, because like you were saying, like Jurassic Park, they never really use it. So what would be the point of doing that? But then again, there's also the issues of having people go on the streets, and I don't know. It's a toss up. I don't know. It's a hard one.
And I don't think we're gonna find out anytime soon. I think it's just gonna be like it's gonna happen, and he's gonna be like, oh, here are all the mazes, like last month before Horror Nights.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait for a while. That's for sure.
I'm gonna say final. If I have to choose a final option, though, I'm gonna go JP.
Oh, JP or Persian for me.
As a Persian.
But either way,
yeah,
the new location we have is great. So I'm fine with losing any of those locations. It's
as long as we got a soundstage.
Yeah, we have a soundstage.
But the one thing I was thinking about is how are they going to get everyone in there? Because since it is a new location, it's not really. Actually, I'm not really sure where the backside of Soundstage 29 is. So maybe it is close to the park. But I was just thinking, I'm like, they're gonna have to make basically this whole new area in order to get people over there, like they do with Metro sets. They have like food carts and stuff down there. Like they're gonna kind of have to create something new or a new area for Stranger Things, since it is really separate from everything, right?
Yeah,
it's right next to Transformers.
It's where the minions are. Like when you're on the studio tour, and it's like, oh, here's the Illumination Entertainment, and the two minions are there, like the two.
So instead of the Metro set, like how you usually go, you make that right and you go down that hallway. You're probably most likely gonna make a left and go the left of Transformers. One year that I know they did, they had a line queue for The Walking Dead right there. That was they used that part of the line queue. They'll probably have like a roped off area though, and then they'll lead you to the main line or stuff. Or maybe if it's so packed, they will use that line queue, which is
you know where I think it's gonna be. Sorry to interrupt you. Where we caught the trams a couple years back to go to the backlot. That's where I feel like the line's gonna be.
Yeah, so basically, like, you turn right as if you're going into Mummy Q.
Yeah.
And then you turn left normally right there, right?
Or when you're walking to the backlot through Toxic Tunnel, there's gonna be another opening instead of just going straight. There's gonna be you go left and the line's gonna be right there.
Let's just not do Toxic Tunnel this year.
Honestly.
It's just It honestly.
Yeah, I feel like if they just leave that area, if they just like play music or something in there, like I feel like that's enough. I don't really know.
Enough with
just
the
think they should
flashing
bring back the
lights.
trams. That's just me.
Yeah, the trams, I think it would be a smart idea. Also, like, I remember getting off of the trams, and I believe, was 2015 the first year we had, like, a scare zone down there?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just remember it was really cool, like, when you're getting there, and then you see all of the Purge characters, like, come out onto the tram, and, like,
Yeah,
it was kind of
like
like Terror
they
Tram
come
that way,
up to
where
you.
they all, like,
They
come
up
out
to
and
you.
run out at you.
I
which
forgot
I
about
thought was
that too.
really cool.
That's a good point. Is when you got off the tram, all the actors would already be out there waiting for you, and they lead you
Yeah.
into the actual scare zone part.
And also, it's good for crowd control things too, so that way there's not so many people in there. Because I remember the first time I went inside Urban Inferno, I was probably in there for 10 minutes because there was so many people in there. It was such a big issue. It was a crowd control nightmare. And with the tram, you're able to get a regulated amount of people through. The only problem though with having a tram is I remember it was a while ago, but I was scrolling through Twitter and I think someone asked Murdy about having a tram, and I'm pretty sure he basically was saying where we had kind of the area where we have American Horror Story, we would lose a whole maze location if we have a tram down there, because that's where you picked up the tram, I believe, which was where we had American Horror Story, and I don't remember what else was there previously, but you would lose a whole other maze location. So that's the only reason why I don't want to have a tram, is just because I know that we would lose another maze location. If it did not mean that we would lose a maze location, I would totally love to see the tram come back.
The thing I liked about the tram too is like the year they used it. That was the year they did like Crimson Peak and all that.
Yeah.
It was cool because you got to see like a little exclusive video from Guillermo del Toro, like saying like, "Yeah, this is my maze," and the movie comes out pretty soon.
Yeah, more PR.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed stuff, just little stuff like that though. When you're on it gets you pumped for the maze. It's like, okay, Guillermo del Toro said, it's good, it's a maze, and his movie's coming out soon. I'm a little excited now because I want to see the movie and I want to go through this maze. Regardless, the maze was kind of shitty, but
yeah.
But I just think that with the tram, I mean, there's other alternatives with that tram too. I mean, they can either stop a little bit behind and then drop us off, and then we'll go in, or, I mean, there's alternatives. I would just overall say there's enough room to do that. I think I don't know. I know there's certain guidelines they got to follow though. I mean, as far as the tram goes, they got to stop at certain places and they can't block certain intersections and stuff like that, which I kind of understand. In my head, I'm kind of picturing like maybe they can drop us off one place and pick us up like on the other side somewhere else. I don't know. But at the same time, I'm thinking of like conflicts of like, yeah, it could be blocking intersections. It could be, there's certain areas where cars come through, there's stop signs and stuff like that. So there's probably guidelines they got to follow and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just don't like walking up that hill and then walking back down the hill and then back up the hill. And then like by the time I'm already spending like probably like $14 on bottles of water, just downing them and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it's a hassle.
All right. So with that being said, I think I'm gonna wrap up the podcast right now because we are edging an hour, and I know that we can go on talking for hours and hours and hours about Horror Nights. The possibilities are endless. So what we know right now is Soundstage 29 is coming for Stranger Things. We're losing a location. What is it? Holidays in Hell is coming to the Metro sets, and we covered a bunch of stuff on Terror Tram, location-wise, all that good stuff. So, I want to end this podcast with a little segment that Anthony likes to do in his podcast. Go check him out. Is This Week in YouTube, which Anthony likes to do. Which I'm featured on a lot, which I thank him for. So basically, it's just a bunch of YouTubers that do Horror Nights videos, Disney videos, all theme park videos in general, and some people that deserve recognition. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it to Anthony and Charlie if they want to give shout outs to people who they think mention their videos. It doesn't matter who they are, honestly. I'm just trying to spread the word and get people to get more viewership and stuff.
I'm not gonna be the guy that like it's first and foremost go to my channel. No, I'm not that guy. If you want to go to my channel, you can. I'm not gonna force you to. I don't make that good content anyway. I'm on a little break right now. So.
You're crazy, man.
But the couple YouTubers I want to just give a shout out to is first and foremost our host SoCal Exploring, because he goes every week grinding it hard, making us amazing content.
Yeah.
Sometimes even being that grown up to settle certain beefs and stuff, and you gotta have that one person that's just like, all right, it's time to grow up, and I respect the hell out of that. Like, you don't get a lot of people in this world who actually come out and do that. So
Thank you, dude.
First and foremost, go. If you're not subscribing, I don't know. If you're watching this video, you're not subscribed to SoCal Exploring, then there's a subscribe button. Hit it. Turn on his bell notifications, all that good stuff. I think the second person I want to give a shout out to, he was just on my podcast last week. It's Awkward Arsic. He's just a really good, cool guy, and he's just like us. He grinds hard, and I respect him. He works a lot. He works a full-time job and comes home and makes content. And I don't know how he does it, but the guy's a legend, dude. So a shout out to that guy. And the last group I want to give a shout out to is the League of Extraordinary Vloggers, because honestly, without them, I wouldn't have done a channel. So a really big thank you to those guys.
All right, Charlie, you have the floor.
Well, I think in terms of just awesome HHN content creators, like you said before, Awkward Arsic and the League are two of definitely one of my favorite HHN content creators out there, who I make sure to always watch all of their videos because they're short and they're also really informative, and it gives you something that not a lot of other, or at least for the League, not many other HHN updaters have two people doing all of their videos, and I think that's one reason why the League is so popular, is because other people are just doing things by themselves, whereas the League it does have two different perspectives of people's views, and I think that really brings out the fun in their videos, and they joke around and stuff and just have a good time with their videos. So definitely them and Awkward Arsic for sure. And then in terms of, I don't know if he has a YouTube channel, but if you follow him on Twitter, it's this is, I know it's like for YouTube. I know what you guys are talking about, but this one guy on Twitter I follow, and it's his name was like Jojo. It's at coaster_cruiser. He does a lot of cool stuff, and is like literally, if you just look at his page, you can see everything that is going on in the world of Horror Nights, and also some other theme parks like Disney.
Joey's
you really
grinding.
can see everything.
Yeah, I know Joey. He's grinding. He's on everything.
Yeah. So I think he, like, whenever I look on his page, that's where I go to see like what's been going down, like all the stuff. And yeah, so definitely Joey, love your Twitter or other accounts, I'm not sure, but yeah.
And for me, first and foremost, let's talk about our two special guests here. Mr. Anthony, the Knights of Horror. Y'all need to go check him out. He's always doing podcasts every single week, and he deserves more viewership because his channel has great potential. I've been helping him out so much, designing him logos and all that good stuff.
Actually, speaking of the podcast,
he's so humble, he's so humble. He ain't no bitch, all right?
Especially with the podcast, man. You made me that new background, and I used it last week with our Awkward Arsic finally. And it just, I'm in love with it. He created my channel logo. I wish I was that good with graphic design, but it takes time. But yeah, thanks to you, man. Yeah, honestly, like I couldn't have done a lot of stuff without you and the League and so much other. But you've always been there when I needed you, man. I text you and you reply, and that's really cool, man. So I really, really appreciate it.
Hey, man, I thank you for that. I thank you for being such a cool guy. And let's move on to our second guest star. Charlie was kind of last minute. I texted him, and he was automatically down for it, which I truly respect, and I think that's cool. We're definitely going to get some more podcasts done. Char-Chi, he is doing everything. He's just like me. Theme park, Disneyland, Horror Nights, Universal, all that good stuff. Like, I can relate to Char-Chi's channel by a lot as terms of content wise, because I'm over here doing Disney and then I'm bouncing to Universal and then I'm bouncing to Horror Nights. Like, I'm doing all this crap. And, you know, you guys definitely go check him out, because not only is he starting to upload a lot more, which, boy, you need to start uploading more. You need to
Yes.
upload more of that
I
content.
know. I kind of just went through this weird ghosting phase, but we're coming back. We're coming back.
So definitely go check out him. Both these guys are great, and I just recently started talking to Charlie, and I already know that he's a great guy, and both of them are
Thank
humble.
you.
And everything, their links, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff will be in the description. So go check them out. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna close it off right here. Make sure to subscribe to SoCal Exploring, Nights of Horror, and Char-Chi, all down below. We have just hit 400 subs like a week and a half ago, and we're already at 422, which is crazy. Like, I'm growing a lot, and I thank you guys for that so much. And
It's on the road to freaking 500, man. That's
on the
half
road to
1,000
500,
right
bro. And at 500, we jumping straight to 1,000. We ain't going to that 600. We jumping straight to 1,000. But yeah, like I say in all of my videos, is after all this drama crap happened, is you guys just gotta stay positive. If you want something in life, don't let anyone stop you. Don't let anything stop you. You gotta keep pushing, keep grinding. Because right now I am working constantly and then coming home, making content, doing what I love, because this is what I want to. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I love to do. I love going to Disney. I love going to Universal, meeting new and great people. I have met so many people, as well as Anthony and Charlie, and it's a really great feeling if you find something that you love to do, and you push yourself to do it, and you gain success from it. And when I started this 4 years ago, I was like nothing. I was like 100 subs, 80 subs, but like you just gotta stay with it, you know. And I'm sure Anthony will see that over time, and Charlie, I'm sure, has seen it already. Is like when you push something and you don't just give up on it, the results definitely come out of it, and it's a great feeling.
Dude, I'm stoked to even have 152. I didn't even think I'd make it that far. So I mean, like, honestly, whatever I have, I'm just so grateful for. I always think positive. I never think negative. I'm at 152. Like, I didn't even think I'd make it that far. Like, I didn't even think I'd stick to the channel this long, and I am, and I'm just so grateful for everything. I try to mix it up a little bit more horror stuff. I mean, I'm also considering doing theme parks and stuff, but I have not made a decision with that yet. I know I'm supposed to be launching a new podcast pretty soon, so we'll see.
Yeah, for sure, definitely, guys. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Add everybody on Snapchat, Instagram, all that good stuff down below. I just said Snapchat. What am I talking about? Everything will be down below in the description, guys. Check them out. I will see you guys later. And if you guys want more podcasts like this, go ahead and click that like button. Leave me your feedback down below, because it was definitely fun and it was definitely a great podcast to film. We're definitely going to get a lot more special guest stars on as the ones that are already currently on. And we're going to be doing Disney podcasts, Universal podcasts in general. It's going to be really fun. And I'm happy for my channel, and I'm looking forward to it. So I will see you guys later. Make sure to keep on exploring parks. Peace.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech, you'll shake and shudder in surprise when